If you're a dad 235 to 250 pounds and you eat clean, but the scale ain't moving, your energy sucks, then this video is for you. Because you've probably been trying to cut out some fast food, you've been trying to get a little bit more disciplined, but you still find yourself exhausted at the end of the workday. Because I would challenge you that it's not that you're not trying to lose the weight, it's that you're trying to solve the wrong problem. And it's costing you more than you realize. I work with busy dads on a day-to-day basis who weigh between 235 and 250 pounds, and I've taken the same principles working with NFL athletes and special operations in the military with the systems, the structure, and the support to help the weight drop off, just like all the guys that are on this screen right now, simplified the process for dads just like you. You got kids in sports, you got mortgages, you got home remodels that you're working on, truck payments, you got all these different things in your life that is costing you a lot of money. So if you feel like you're doing everything right, you feel like you're making some changes, you've lost a little bit of weight, and you know what it takes, but it's just different this time, and you're having a hard time following through because life has gotten busier, kids in sports, career is more demanding, feel like you don't have the time. I'm gonna break down how you can overcome from a different perspective. Now, the first thing I wanna talk about is the lie that you're telling yourself about eating clean, because eating clean doesn't associate with I feel good. Because what you'll do is you'll cut out the junk food, you'll start to eat a little bit more chicken, start to eat some salads, you cut out some alcohol, you're having more water, but you still feel tired, and you're asking yourself why. You feel a little different because clean is vague. Clean does not mean adequate protein. Clean does not mean optimized insulin sensitivity. Clean does not mean carbohydrate timing of when you're actually eating carbs, micronutrient sufficiency, sleep support, nervous system regulation. What stuff matters? Because you can eat clean and still be way under on your protein, overeat at carbs at night, skip meals during the day, sleep 5 to 6 hours, live in that constant stress, that constant fight or flight. So here's what you need to do, man. You gotta take a second to zoom out, my brother. And anytime I start to dive into this topic, a lot of the time I will hear this right here. I don't have the what? I don't have the time. My kids are in baseball. We just went through a home remodel. Money's tight. Work is crazy. I got a truck payment. We got vacation coming up. And I get it, man. But the truth that you don't realize is that you're already paying a cost. And what I mean by that is you're paying in it when you walk through the door after work and you're already fatigued. And you're telling your kids, not tonight, guys, I'm tired. Not being mentally present. You got a short fuse with your wife. Lower confidence, lower libido, less intimacy. You got brain fog at work because you're just drained. So what I call that is you're financing every other area of your life, all the trucks, the sports, to this, to that, but your energy bank is freaking bankrupt. And energy isn't just about food quality, eating clean. It's about metabolic efficiency. So let's just dive into a little bit of the science so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Let's talk about blood sugar swings. What the heck does that mean, right? Stay with me. So if you're eating clean, but you're low in protein, you're high in carb, a little New Yorker just popped out of me there, and you're overeating at night because you skipped breakfast and you had a healthy lunch, and then you're like, come dinner time, you're like, give it to me all. Then you go sit down, you plop on the couch, you put the kids to bed. You're riding what I call blood sugar roller coaster, baby, because your blood sugar spikes, your insulin spikes. Guess what? Then you crash. Then your cortisol rises. Then your cravings increase. Then your sleep sucks. You just repeat that cycle. Studies show that blood sugar regulation will have a direct correlation to the old brain fog. So you got to have some structure behind your nutrition. Now, if you do weigh between 235 and 250 pounds and you're trying to get back to about 200, your protein needs to be probably about 180 to 220 grams. And if you tell me, oh man, hey bud, I'm having no issue doing that, it's like, well, great, because you need it. You need to have enough protein to support your muscle, but most of you guys aren't actually training to have the physical adaptation to actually change. So you got this big flop hanging over your belt loop. But protein is not just about preserving or building muscle. It's gonna help to regulate your blood sugar. It's gonna help limit your appetite because it's filling. It's gonna give you more energy stability, and then yeah, it's gonna help you with your recovery. But if your protein is low, unlike most people, if you really looked at it, you're probably getting somewhere between like 120 and maybe 150 because you have a weak breakfast because you got to rush out the door. You have something for lunch. You probably pick up Chipotle or something fast food, or maybe you have leftovers for dinner. You have some trail mix, some peanut butter, some chips here, and then at dinner, whatever the wife makes, And then it's just that continuous cycle, which is why come nighttime, you feel hungry, you feel tired, you feel like you need to eat everything. And then you snack and then you crash. So most of you probably have some coffee in the day, got a protein bar, maybe a salad if you're trying to clean it up. And if you do that, that's going to lead to the big binge eating at night. And when you eat later at night and you end up snacking and try to just get a little bit of something, it's going to continue to mess with your insulin, which is going to mess with your sleep. If you mess with your sleep, it's going to mess with your cravings for the next day, and you got to break the cycle. I just posted a video about it not a couple days ago. Want to take a second to talk about sleep, because if you sleep 5 to 6 hours, and this is the video I'm talking about where I just did a deep dive, but I want to brush on it just for a second. Insulin sensitivity is drastically affected. Just one night of poor sleep means your body's going to handle carbohydrates worse. It's going to store more, aka it's going to burn less. You're going to crave sugar and you're going to have less energy, which guess what that does? I need to have more caffeine. My brother, this is what I'm talking about, man. You need to have a system for your nutrition. So you're thinking, all right, what the heck is a system? What do you mean by a system with your nutrition? Let's dive into it. And if we're being completely honest, it's not that you lack knowledge. It's the big old word, and it starts with a C. You lack consistency. But most people don't want to admit that because they've lost the weight before. You know how to do it. But the only thing that you know is the all or nothing approach, the 75-day hard, the 45-minute workouts, the white knuckle approach. I'm just going to get it done. I got to lock in. Now's the time. I'm getting older. Same shit you told yourself a couple years ago. But when life gets busy, you freaking stop. And when you stop, you don't feel like yourself. And when you don't feel like yourself, your energy drops. Your confidence drops. Your presence stops. Until you take a photo with your family or you try to put on a shirt that you like to wear and you hate the way that you look. And then the cycle repeats and then you go at it again. It's not a discipline problem, my brother. It's a consistency and a sustainability problem. So this is what you need to do to actually fix it. Intentionally, every meal, including breakfast, yes, prioritize protein, 30 to 50 grams, non-negotiable. That's what you do. First step, because it's going to stabilize your blood sugar. It's going to make you feel full for longer. Protein requires more digestion, and it's going to essentially burn more calories throughout the day. Obviously, it's going to support your muscle tissue as well. The big O C word, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not bad. You just want to center them around your workout. So try to, if you can, shift your workouts to the earlier in the day. I've talked about this before, but even if it's just 15 minutes, work out in the morning, have your carbs around your workout and eat carbs less later in the day. If you balance that with protein, you're gonna have better energy, you'll sleep better, and it's gonna help you recover. Most people, when they work out, they get a big old protein shake and they have low carbs. I want you to do the opposite. I want you to have 2 to 1 carb to protein ratio. So if you're somewhere between this 30 and 50 grams, let's say you're going to get 30 grams of protein, go back to algebra here, I want you to have 60 grams of carbs. I'm not talking about counting calories and all that stuff, but I do want you to count the ratio and be mindful of that particular ratio around your workout. When it comes to the consistency with your meals, your body likes rhythms and it likes patterns. So make your meals around the same time and quit letting life take control of you and you take control of your life. Make it a priority to have this done. Not try to order something, go pick it up, and like that's just stress. Take ownership and grab it by the day. You take control of it. And guess what? If you're eating out with clients and stuff like that, awesome. You don't even have to cook it. You just got to make the right choice when you're there. Order the right thing. Sleep has got to be a non-negotiable. This video is not about sleep, but it needs to be prioritized. If you shift your mindset to just with this right here, this is the only thing that you remember. If you look at sleep as your most important workout and you recognize the power of sleep, which I did another video on how important it is, that alone is going to help everything. So put the dang phone down. Quit doom scrolling, because no amount of eating clean is going to fix chronic sleep debt. And when you do that, you're going to start also, building muscle and losing weight, and you reduce your risk of injury. I mean, hear it from Donovan, who's in the program. Hear from him.
I will reshare what I told you last Thursday. At this point, it's been about 2 weeks now that I have not felt the need to take pain medicine just to get a decent night's sleep.
That's a massive win. So your back's doing good.
Yes. My low back and glutes are a little agitated today. I think that was from the bicycle squats that I did Saturday. But other than that, slight agitation, they're feeling really good.
And I believe you're on like week 6 of the lower back protocol, so it's starting to get a little bit more, I don't want to say challenging, but it's just a little bit more, you're doing a little bit more now, and your body's
Yes,
benefiting from it.
yes,
Yeah?
yep.
Good. That's great. Love to hear that, man. Good win.
Yes,
Being
sir.
pain-free is huge. I mean, hell, the first time we talked, it brought you to tears because you couldn't play with your little guy.
Yes.
So praise God, you're
Yep.
able to start moving in the right direction and being
Yes,
pain-free.
sir.
That is fantastic win. Very good win. Thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing.
I'm loving it. Thank you.
We'll hear from Dave, who recently started the program, is already down freaking, I think he said 10 pounds. Hear from him. A lot of the guys that, follow my account but haven't taken action yet, if you had a chance to sit down with them, what would you tell them?
Top line, if you sit down and have the conversation, that's a good step. But the real key here is how much of your heart you're going to put into this process. And if you're not fully committed to putting your heart in the process, maybe it's not your time. That's okay.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of those times when thought I was investing myself, thought I was going for it. And turns out I wasn't quite ready for it. You really got to make that choice that you're ready to do it. And the big piece here is after that conversation, you need to keep showing up. You need to have a little bit of OCD, ADHD, where you're going to get obsessive over this. That is a way to make a change in your life. And once you're maybe made that change, you've made that turn, you don't have to always be super overly engaged, but it's like we got to reframe this. And so recognize that it's step 1 and that's just step 1. Step 2, great.
That's right.
Step 3, you keep grinding at it.
So my point being this entire video is that eating clean makes you feel like you're doing something right, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's effective. So you can still be, disciplined, but you're inefficient in what you're trying to accomplish. You're being too general, and that insufficiency, that lack of structure will end up draining you because you don't know what's working, you don't know what's not. Energy isn't built from restriction. It's built from having some structure. So if you're a Papa Bear, you're a dad, and you weigh between 235 and 250 pounds, and you want to implement a system that's gonna give you energy. It's not about following, as I talked about, another extreme diet. I'm not a bodybuilding coach. I'm not trying to get you out on stage and have you get into a little bikini with the spray tan. It's not what I'm about. I'm trying to help you have the energy to be able to play with your kids so that your family gets the best of you, not the rest of you when you get home. It's about building a system that fits into your life. Patching it with caffeine and willpower is not gonna get it done, quite honestly. So if you're ready to stop guessing and you're ready to start implementing in the right direction, because when the gun goes off, if you start running that way and you're supposed to be running this way, you're going in the wrong direction, my friend, and you're probably gonna end up back to here and doing the same weight loss journey over and over again versus you need to be going this way and doing this to get to the top of the mountain, back to 200 pounds and keep it off for good. If that's what you want, man, check out the description down below and you can apply to work with me and I'll show you everything. Let's do it. Catch you in the next one.